Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing? It's hot Tuesday. I don't know where you guys are at, but it's hot here. Woo-wee. I'm ready for my favorite time of year is living here in PA is like the fall, right? When like the leaves are, oh, when it's just it's like cool out. It's not cold. It's not hot. It's perfect. You just want to be out in the woods and relax. All right, let me see who's here. Mittens for Kittens, what's going on? I had something I wanted to tell you that Xena did. I got to remind me if you can. Hey, Circus, love this. Yeah, I just threw together a little sample intro. I need to like add some music to it and you know do some stuff to it. I'm learning, guys. You guys know it. I'm not really, even though I'm not obviously, I'm in my early 30s. I'm not really technology oriented, but the more I watch videos on YouTube and the more I study, the more I'm learning. So, uh, experience can only get better, in my opinion. Uh, I also have a question I want to ask chat um, during this live on opinion of. I want your opinion on something. So remind me of that as well if somebody can. Doc, how are you? Welcome in. Hope you're having a great day. Simply the best. I can't remember what commercial that's from. B-Man, what's up, bud? Welcome in. Joanne. Welcome. Nice to see you. I saw Meg, the wonderful Meg. Simply the best. Moto. Thank God for AC is right. Am I missing Gina? Thanks for stopping in. Deb, hope you're having a great day. Samira, how are you? Karma Police, Deborah Putnam, Pagan Ways, Witchy. Welcome. Time for running practice on Banfield. Professional challenge highlights. Please remove all litter DNA. Funny. Who am I missing? Karma. Welcome. Teresa. You like a Mish? Until I get see, I, I don't like to have like the whole like what are those lights called that run like across your room? Like I'm a guy, so I want my backdrop to be like a little different. I want to see. I like horror movies and stuff, so I want to have like a cool like backdrop when I am able to get a setup and stuff. That's like real, not like just a filter or anything like that. Who was Landa's guest? I can go over that in a little bit, Samara. They made a point about Brian that I found very interesting. Or, I mean, a point about the person that did this. Hey, Ryan Anderson. Roll Tide, Bo. Listen, the fact that Bo Roland, just the fact that his first name is Bo, right? And he's an Alabama fan. Bo, you're stuck. You're stuck at this channel forever, dude. I'm sorry. Deborah Ackland, how are you? 34 degrees here in Ontario. Oh, yeah, that's right. You guys use the weird system up there too. Because I get confused with the Celsius to Fahrenheit. Ward Amigo, what's up? Roll Tide. Gemini, how are you? How's our horoscope treating you today? I'm in a pretty good mood today. How about you? Dog mom, welcome. Just make sure I say hi to everybody, guys. I just find it respectful because when I come in chats, I always look to see, if I'm noticed when I say hi and stuff. So I try my best. Sharon, ASP, welcome. TK, welcome. Sweet Leaf. My mic is staticky, really? Hold on. Is that better? I appreciate you telling me. Let me know if that's better. If not, I'll change it from default or speakerphone to default. Hey, good looking. What you got cooking? Do I have any country music fans in chat? It's crazy how I know like every classic rock song, but if you play me a country song up until like the year maybe 2010, I still know like every word. Okay, I'm so sounding bad simply. Okay, 1 second, hold on. 'Cause I had a fan blowing on me from far away. I didn't know if that was a problem, but hold on. Hey, Jane, you can bear with me. Having some technical difficulty. All right. Do I sound a little better? Testing, testing. 1, 2. Let's see. State is playing checkers. Okay. I appreciate your opinion, Justice. Sound better? Awesome. Thank you, female. Doc, thank you. Thank you guys for telling me. All right. 1 moment. Let me. Now, I remember you guys, I think, the ones who have known me for years and years and years, you guys know I don't bite, right? And I'm very respectful, unless you know, unless you're disrespectful, obviously, it's just, but I think that's everybody. So please, please do not be afraid to come up and tell me your opinion on what we're going to get into today. But again, if people choose to be upset over other people's opinions, that's fine because I'm sure that, it might be a split room, might be 70-30, who knows? But yeah, I'm very curious to hear your thoughts. And then throughout, the live, I'm going to give, my thoughts a little bit on just somebody from the outside looking in and, studying Ann Taylor before I even really started looking into this case. Because again, and I will admit it, when this first came out about Brian, right, you start thinking to yourself, can this person really, is this person that I knew capable of doing this, right? And then you start playing back like instances where, you've seen him walking down the hallway and who you've seen him walking with, and the 2 times at uh, uh, what's his name, Tom's house, seeing him in a weight room, and you try to like convince yourself that this person, without knowing the whole he got clean and all that, lost their mind in college and decided to do this while everybody was sleeping. Because that was my initial, that's what they told us. Everybody was sleeping. This was targeted. So my mind goes right to, he has problems with these people or something's going on, yada, yada, yada. And that's why I thought initially, I said, hey, it's possible. I think anybody is able to snap, but usually you need a reason to snap. So when the PCA came out and more information came out, then that's when my mind switched over to, I don't think Brian Koberger, based on his PCA, did it this way. Okay, I don't know if he's involved or not, right, and all that, but the way that the PCA reads, I was just like, okay, that's when I started having issues with this case. And I think, that's when a lot of people started having issues with this case. But again, it doesn't change the fact of who Brian was, like when I knew him, like who his mom was when she taught me. Like people, I see people think, sick. Like if what people, I mean, all you guys have X, all you guys have Instagram, all you guys have Discord. I mean, I can't Reddit. I can't imagine what people say about his family members and stuff on there. And his mother was very, very nice to me. She was, like I said, she was my 8th grade English teacher, and whether Brian did this or not, she's a victim, and like, I don't know. I just find it very sad that these people who scream about not victim blaming and stuff like that are the same people who will attack his family or his sister out of nowhere. And I just find that, I don't know. I don't know what people get out of doing that, because again, they didn't ask for their son to do this if he did it, right? And they have to deal with the repercussions outside here in the real world. And for people to try to feel that fire, oh, look at his dad, he's a weirdo. Look at his mom, she must have raised him, a monster. People don't know the truth. I brought Rich up here, who literally probably had 100 encounters with Brian's dad, and he told us straight up about his character. Now, I know the interview I did, well, I don't like calling it an interview because me and Rich were cool and hung out all the time too, but the conversation I had with Rich, right, I find that important, but unfortunately I did that and it was in the middle of a live. So once I learn how to like edit, like how I can clip out certain parts of my live and make a video, then hopefully, more eyes can kind of see who Brian was. But also spoke to Rich, and he also said that he was very pleased last time he came up. He wasn't getting any harassing messages on any social media. So he will say that, I'm sorry, he did say that he will join us again and, answer any kind of questions we have, because I know he told us a couple of stories about, Brian's temper and stuff like that, and if he controlled it or not. And I just think that, I think there's a lot more that he could tell us when he's not driving. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to work on but let me, I know, sorry, I just went on a little tangent there, and I saw a few people come in. 1 second. Hey, Mark. See come in. Miss Potts. Annie Potts. How you doing? Let me drop this again. So, again, back to Ann Taylor. Here's the link again. Let me go to YouTube real quick, because this is true open panel. I don't care about, sensory overload, but if we can all maybe talk at, just one at a time. I just want to hear your guys' thoughts on, did Ann Taylor, do you think she did her best and up until the end and realized that all her ammunition, or, whatever people want to claim, was stripped from her, and that's why something's going on behind the scenes, people think? Or is this exactly what people expected after a certain amount of time and seeing her demeanor changing, that, hey, she works for the state, they all pass each other in grocery stores, they all use the same, who knows, they all use the same hairdressers, barbers, yada, 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 see each other, I don't know if anybody's, me and Annie were having a conversation about this. I don't know if anybody's ever seen the show Law and Order, but, Law and Order, they go and do a case, they argue with each other, and then after, they're hanging out talking about, hey, I got you, or, going to lunch after, and so I'm curious what everyone thinks. Oh, shoot, I forgot to go over to YouTube. Let me just drop it one more time and go pin this real quick, so I don't have to do it again. 1 second. You think you have aces? Okay. All right, so that should be pinned at the top. So yeah, so I mean, okay, I saw a couple people say that, they think that she has an ace up her sleeve, or she is playing chess. And I would just like to know why do you guys think that? Because in my opinion, for the amount of stuff that we're seeing in these documents and these photos, and hearing what experts are saying, which I'll get to in a little bit about what Lana uncovered today, because I think that's pretty important from her guest, is why didn't she take this to trial and at least fight with the reasonable doubt she had? Or did something come out in the last requests for discovery that spooked Anne or Brian or vice versa? I mean, one and the same, really. To say, hey, let's at least try to save your life here, because they have this and that, and you didn't tell us this and tell us that. Because it's either those two options, or, now I'm not going to go down the whole PSYOP route yet. Okay. Because I kind of just don't like going down those rabbit holes. But the information they're letting out is kind of painting a picture for me. You think Anne caved too, Christina? Okay. Prosecution. Are you sure about that, B-Man? Are you sure about that? Yes, that's what I think, Miss Pottage. I don't think pleading was the best option with this much reason about that. Listen, if the judge took away your right to a third party try, to bring up your alternative suspect information and stuff like that, I understand. But when you have the amount of reasonable doubt that if 5 of us came on panel right now and spoke about what reasonable doubt there is, like I said, we'd be here for 2 hours, 3 hours. And this is what in my opinion, hopefully an unbiased jury would have been able to hear. So that's why my title is what it is. Did Ann Taylor bend at the knee because, she is a public defender working for the state? Or is she playing 3D chess in the background and has a plan that doesn't involve Hitler and involves a higher court? Defense reacted to what the prosecution brings forward. Okay, but I have seen reports that the defense approached the prosecution. So, but now, somebody has said the prosecution approached the defense, which I don't think, unless there was a plea deal on the table for a long time and the door was just left open by Bill. Could that also be a possibility? State said at sentencing the defense asked for the plea and did not object or refute that. So right there. I mean, Annie just said it unless she's lying. I don't think Annie's lying. Annie, you want to come up and join me for just a little bit? I know you're going live in a little while, but if you want to come up and chill, I'd love to have you. State plea on table, late May. State, okay, late May. So there you go. So you, okay, but so you think the state put a plea and gave the defense that much time, Miss Pottage? Ledge, what's up, buddy? Sorry if I missed you. It's just when I went into my little rant there, I can only see three messages at a time here, so I'm doing my best to go back and see if I missed something. Hey, get down. Sorry, my cat's nuts. Shouldn't listen to nothing. Moto, I think he pled guilty from pressure from his defense. If he was given the death penalty over IGG, that could have set precedent for future cases. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate that. But I agree with you, and that's why, did she kneel down because all this that we're seeing in these documents, all the backdoor stuff that, all the backdoor routes that were taken by LE, taken by, especially Payne, and this not being documented, and Murphy being taken, and, was this even allowed to come out in trial? Was this even allowed to go to trial? And that's what I'm saying. Did Anne kind of give in and say, I'm done? Because she kept going to, all these hearings, and she just seemed defeated. Absolutely defeated. Hey, Annie.
What up, homie?
What up, homie?
I'm driving. Sorry. I was just trying to let you know.
Sorry for what?
Bill, well, because I'm driving, so my audio is probably terrible.
I know you sound fine. Actually, I actually sound good.
Okay. Yeah, no, so I mean, I don't know, that sentencing hearing, that last one, Bill stood up and said it was the defense that approached the state for the plea. So, I mean, he said it in open court, and the defense did nothing to refute it or object to it or deny it. So, I mean, I don't know.
Okay, so that's a fact, right? The defense came to the prosecution with it?
That's what Bill says happened, and the defense did nothing to object or refute what Bill said. And Bill said that it was the defense that approached the state looking for a plea.
Yeah. Gotcha. Hey,
and
guys, just real quick.
That was in an open hearing.
Yeah. Just, guys, real quick, if you haven't yet, if you can just take a second or two to go hit the like button. Appreciate it. Yeah, so that was in open court?
It was at the sentencing hearing.
So there you go. So then that can't be refuted then.
I mean, I'm just saying it's what Bill said in open court, and nobody seemed to try to debunk it or anything from Brian's side. So, I mean,
yeah, I know, Christina. I mean, I know they don't count weekends, right? But I mean, we're kind of getting down to the.
I'll be right back.
Okay, but yeah, I mean, we're kind of getting down to the 2-minute warning here. He's gonna have to make a decision. I hope he does. I mean, Nancy Grace herself, for some reason, was saying that Brian was in jail screaming that he can't wait to appeal, which I found odd that she has all these.
Look, I don't know what these people's fucking problem is in chat. tell
No,
me to
nobody
watch
said
the freaking
nothing.
hearings.
Relax.
I've
Who
watched the
said that to
freaking
you?
hearings.
Who said that to
We've
you?
all watched the freaking hearings. Mrs. Pottage, I don't know what she's talking about. Like, yeah, I've watched the hearings. I listened to Bill say it was the defense who approached the state. I don't know when Bill offered the plea. I don't know for how long they've been offering the plea, but this is the first fucking time they mentioned anything about the defense coming to them. So that's all I
Yeah.
was trying to say. I gotta love you, homie. I'll be back. I'll see you later. Okay, I'll be in chat.
I appreciate it, homie. Sorry. I mean, yeah, sorry about that.
It's all good. I'm driving with groceries in my car heading home, so I just wanted to. You asked me to come up, so I did. Love ya. Bye.
Okay, bye. I'll be in here live. Miss Potts versus Miss Pottage. That's funny. I don't want to see. I don't want to start any drama, but like, if we can just be respectful when I have somebody up here, guys, come on. You know, address each other in chat or something. Not when somebody's up here and they have to. The only way to defend themselves is to make them look stupid and yell up here. That's not cool. We also know that he's not only said it in court, and the defense came up and asked him. He also said the interview with him in pain. At the press conference. Okay. Who's mean? Annie? Annie's just stern. She don't take no shit. Hey, what's up, Cold? How you been? Doing all right? So yeah, so the link's pinned at the top. If anybody else wants to come up and give me their take on Mrs. Ann Taylor, I'd love to hear from you guys. And again, you know, I think having maybe two people up at a time, if that goes well, then we'll see what happens. But even if somebody just wants to jump up for a few minutes, let me know their thoughts. I want to hear from you guys. Because like you guys know, I've always said that Brian, like I would have done, should have leveraged the public and got some paid counsel. I think it really would have helped him, and to have somebody being paid to fight for him instead of somebody being paid by the state to fight for him. Because we all, again, I don't know if anybody's ever gone through the system or gone through the process, but public defenders aren't fun. I understand she might be the best in the nation, people were saying, but public defender is public defender on a Monday or Tuesday. On a Saturday, there's still public defenders. It's not our fault we have questions. That's right. And especially with what they're coming out with, Jamie, with all this documents and showing us, their work and showing us what they did and what they didn't do. They can't not expect us all to have questions. So if they're scratching their head saying, why is everybody still interested in this case? The same reason that MSM, like Nancy Grace and, you name it, all these other channels, they know, right, that the public is interested in this. And that's the only reason, right, that they report on this. It's for the views. That's it. They don't really actually care to report everything in the documents and the truth. And that's why it's such a blessing to have channels on YouTube that can do that. And there's a lot of good ones, in the community. Witchy, thank you so much for the super chat too. Super chat. Our receipts for Thompson and Plea. Receipts for Thompson and Plea. Receipts for Thompson and Plea. Receipts. Are you saying like maybe I'm reading that wrong. Receipts? Kind of like e-sign? Oh, have receipts. Oh, okay. I gotcha. Sorry. I was trying to decode it in my head, but I wasn't getting anywhere. Thank you so much again. I really appreciate that. The defense had maintained from the beginning Mr. Koberg and the defendant was actually innocent. Yes. So, well, I mean, we all saw it. We all saw Ann Taylor get up there and say, "This is exactly what she said," and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. Your Honor, Brian is innocent, and looked him dead in his shit and said that. Excuse my language. Looked him right in his eyes and said, "Your Honor, Brian is innocent." And I just want to know how it went from that to him taking a plea, one, but two, she doesn't come out and say, that this is an asterisk on justice, which, his defense team hasn't said a word. So again, that's why I said, if you think she's playing chess, 3D chess, then, I can appreciate that view too. It's just the time's ticking down and, yeah, you tried to jump up. Not a good hair day. Didn't tell me anybody was in the back. But yeah, the link's pinned at the top there. If you want to come up, have a little chat. I don't bite. If you think she was great, perfect. If you think she sucked, tell me. Listen to a defense attorney who says she's never offered a plea deal because that's not how it works. So what the fuck? And then the other little tidbit that I want to discuss in the live is an expert that Lana that I had spoke about yesterday that she was having. Oh, no, I'm sorry, that was her calling the Humane Society. But today she had an expert, a blood analysis expert guy, that took a look at the pictures and the casting and all that, and he said that this was done by a left-handed person, or at least, one of the crime scene photos was done by a left-handed person. So, and I'm pretty sure Brian's a righty. I'm like 96.7% sure, or 96.2% sure he's a righty. The guy was awful. I mean, I found, a few things he said very interesting. It's just, I think he thinks Brian did it. So you think Brian did that shit? You think he did it alone, Andy? If so, I'd love to know how. Oh my God, Nancy, my daughter's out in what's it called out there? Scottsdale, out there, and like she tells me every day we video chat. She's like, "It's so hot out here, Daddy." I'm like, "Oh, I can't," because I lived out there for 5-6 months, and she's like, "I can't wait to come." She's ready to come home already. I couldn't do it. Like the one day was 125 or 126, and literally shit was melting outside. It was appalling. It really was. He was far into the incel. Yeah, well, Brian wasn't an incel, and that is another piece that I'm trying to take care of, which is to have either one or two females that knew Brian really well. The problem, I was speaking with Casey back and forth for a little bit the other day, and she told me that she's scared because the last time she dealt with MSM, it affected her in a negative way, and she just got a new job, so she's scared to, she's scared to talk because, I don't know, I guess people were messaging her and harassing her and this, that, and the third, which is a shame because that's exactly what the media must have called me 1,000 times, right? And hold on a second, let me put you in here. Huh. How come I can't put you in? Do you have settings on any that any roller that you can't be put on stage or something? Because you didn't have the at the stage option. People are psycho. What up, Twiz? Want to come up here, bro? Tell me what you think about your queen. Brian was jealous of beautiful girls. Yeah, but how would he even know if there was no connection and no motive or anything? How would he know about these beautiful girls? I guess is my question. That's like, you know what I mean? How would he know when he's buying the stuff they did for this crime? Like, he didn't know the people at this point in time. So that part really doesn't make sense to me. And that's why I've always questioned, why would he go do, if he was so worried about the death penalty, right? And that's what all this is about, is the death penalty coming off the table and that's it. Then why did he go do this in Idaho and not just do it in Washington, where he would have been facing life without parole, same thing he's getting now, and been able to appeal if he lost his trial? And I mean appeal, appeal, not have a deadline like we have now. You know what I mean, TK? You with me? I just don't want to sound crazy. I'm just you're a way higher girl. That's just stupid. Okay. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But and again, I admit when I'm wrong on shit. Me and Annie were speaking this morning on the telephone, and while we were on the telephone, we were looking up golden doodle barks, and she found a few videos of like the same age golden doodle barking, and for an intruder, they have a pretty deep bark. Question I have: 104 likes, awesome. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate that. And no reason to ask. And I don't try to do it too many times because I don't like to beg for likes or anything. It's just so we can be in the algorithm. That's all. But Annie was, looking up, and we were listening to the barks, and I just want to know when the barking stopped and why. And that's why that's why I really want that full. I wish we would have from 3:30 a.m. until 1 p.m. the next day. I wish we had all that, because another thing, right? Think about this. Think about the camera where it's sitting, and if it's picking up if that's Murphy in the house and picking up his bark from the second story all the way on the other side, then if people were in the backyard chatting or in the front yard chatting or on the side of the house chatting, like supposedly they were when Hunter and Emily came over and everything like that, we heard, then we should be able to hear everything that's going on during that period of time. Cars other cars arriving, what time, that video footage is so important because that's going to show everything. Think about that. It's going to show if more people showed up that were summoned over before 911 was called, right? It would show what time everybody got there, if the ambulance being waved off, all that stuff. I think that's really important. You didn't go to the trial because they had the trial rigged. Get Molly to lie and say big case. Yep. Well, here's the problem that it still irks me about what I covered yesterday is why do they still Murphy? Why do they still Murphy and Murphy's paperwork? What's the motive behind that? There has to be a motive to that, and again, that just doesn't make them look good. That's all. Yeah, well, I mean, but that's the thing. They came out themselves, Twiz, and said that like they don't know why he did this and yada yada yada. But at first, right, they said that it was targeted. So how were they so sure at first that it was targeted? I want to know where's that report? Where's the report that made them believe that this was targeted? What? Because the amount of stab wounds? That's what you went by. I mean, I'm assuming that's what they went by. What do you guys think? Is anyone going to click the link? No, nobody likes me, Miss Potts. It's okay. It's all right. I see how it is. I'm just kidding. People are probably busy, like making dinner or doing stuff right now, so I get it. I'm reading chat though, and I'm looking at all your opinions here. Carrie, Scott was a great example on how you do not read any of the docs. Yet so many people choose to follow MSM. People are brainwashed, got lazy. Listen, even the hosts on MSM are brainwashed, for Christ's sakes, because they have access to all the information, and they choose to report barely any of it. All right, Andy, I can see your face. You're good, man. You can shut your camera off if you want, bud. All right, hold on. Let me add you to the stage.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, buddy.
All right, my mic kind of sucks. I've never done this before, but I've been watching. Me and my girlfriend went to, because she came back to Minnesota from Washington State, June 2022, and Brian Koberger had moved there June 2022, allegedly. So that's why I was so obsessed with the case, because we had drove her brother out there to Spokane in August of 2022. So we had to go through Idaho and Washington. But that's why I became so obsessed with the case. I'm with everybody here. I don't know who's on the fence, who thinks he did it, who doesn't think he did it. I used to think he didn't do it until, my girlfriend passed recently. June 19th.
Man, really?
Yeah, and
I'm sorry to hear that, brother.
She hated how obsessed I was with the case, but she was the same way with like Alec Murdaugh and other people. And I'm like,
do you mind me asking how she passed? Because I lost. I don't know if you know my story, but I lost my daughter's mother about a few years back, so I can relate.
The week of, she was drinking real heavy, and she was Native American. Not that that really matters, but there is a stereotype behind it, And she did drink a lot. We both did, and her
everybody's
blood
giving their
alcohol.
condolences. Everybody giving their condolences to you, bud. Just so you know.
Thank you, everyone. So we work at the same place, just on different sides of the warehouse. Sweating real bad all day, and she didn't tell me like she was going through like a severe withdrawal, and maybe she didn't know because she had like carpal tunnel. So I know withdrawals, having been through pill addiction and being an alcoholic, I've had them before. So so the tremors might not show up in somebody with like carpal tunnel and stuff. But we got home maybe 30 minutes after. We had stopped at the liquor store. She only drank like one shot. Apparently her blood alcohol level was so low that it sent her blood into ketosis, which is what diabetics get if they don't have too much sugar or whatever. And she's played around with me before. When she was hella drunk, she'd be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to the hospital." I'm like, "For what?" And so when she told me that, I was going to the bathroom ready to shower up, and I didn't really believe her because, you know, the boy who cried wolf theory. And
Make her rabbit.
it sent her into a seizure, and I didn't hear it till like 5 minutes later after I'm on the John. And, you know, I called 911 and they told me, they were asking me all these questions, obviously, like, what kind of drugs did she do? It's like, dude, we don't do any drugs. We smoke weed and we drink. But,
Yeah.
you know, and 7 weeks later, they tell us it's that her heart was sent into an irregular rhythm and it gave her a seizure and she ultimately died. So,
Can I ask how old she was?
32.
Jesus, I'm my age.
That's
God
not even
bless
the
her.
craziest part. The craziest part is, so she died June 19th, which was a Thursday. The following
Yeah.
Wednesday was our 3-year anniversary of dating. The Sunday after
Jesus,
our
man.
anniversary was my 31st birthday. So,
So I'm sorry. How long ago did you say this happened?
about a month and a half ago.
Jesus, man. Are you doing all right?
Yeah, yeah. I'll show everybody a picture. I don't know how to switch the cameras on this. Let me switch to
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Oh, that's all right. Just hit the link again, bud. You can have right back up if you want. Jesus, it's tough to hear. Like I said, I can relate. So I want to have this conversation.
All right,
There you
go. How do we flip the camera? Oh, facing back.
Yep, there you go.
I don't know.
Oh,
That's us. You know.
oh man.
Oh,
I'm so
unplug
sorry to hear that, dude.
Yeah, dude, it's been a lot to deal with mentally. It's like I'm playing chess in my head every day.
No, I hear you, man. And I'll tell you what, it takes the only thing I've learned is the only thing that heals it is time.
Yeah, for sure,
That's
man.
it. That's it. I mean, it's not going to close the wound, obviously, completely, but you know, yeah, my daughter's mother. Oh, there you go. Oh, I love that. I love her colors. Yeah, my daughter's mother, which I think really gave me the extra boost to to get into true crime and to give a shit about true justice. She was supposedly withdrawn and she was taken into jail, and supposedly she was not even supposed to be there long, but they didn't do their proper procedures, right? And she was put in general population, and at supposedly in the middle of the night, right? This is what they're saying based on the camera footage. She walked into the shower room. She attempted to commit suicide. She failed. She then walked back to her cell. She got changed because I guess she soiled herself the first time, they said, and then she recomposed herself, walked back to the shower room, and then hung herself in the middle of the night. And here's the kicker: she was not found until the next morning by the inmates, not even by prison staff. And the reason that she was able to do this is, dude, they did not have one female guard on duty.
She didn't have a cellie?
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, but the cellies were sleeping. There was no female staff on duty, and the male staffer that marked her down 5 times in her cell, just miraculously again because of how small this world is. I graduated with the fucking kid, so I reached out to him without him knowing who I was, and I basically got him to admit that they were understaffed and what they made him do that night. And I sent that to the lawyer. And that, obviously nothing's going to bring back my daughter's mother, but it helped. It helped in the civil trial.
You got a wrongful death too, right? Right.
Yeah, well, again, because we weren't married, her parents did that. So, but they didn't want any money. It gets basically split between my daughter and her brother.
If money could bring people back, I'm sure there's
that's what I mean. Money has nothing to do with it. Yeah, I don't give a shit about the money. It's just the fact that the state admitted fault, and they changed their whole program. And they changed their whole program around in the jail and how they do everything now, and yada yada yada.
So you got reform, so other people don't have to go through what you and your
Yes,
daughter
sir.
and her family have gone through. That's
Yes, sir.
that's awesome.
Yes, sir.
So,
Yeah, dude. Because let me tell you something, dude. Sitting down a 5-year-old little girl and explaining to her why she has to meet her mother in a casket in 24 hours literally broke me in a way I can't even explain to people, dude.
oh yeah, dude.
You know what I mean? So I can relate what you're going through, man. And like I said, dude, just try to keep calm. Just understand that what she would want for you is to move forward and enjoy your life as much as possible. I know it's going to be tough too, but you got to try, man.
Oh, I'm trying. She got me out of my shell.
Thank you, Cole.
Like before I met her, I didn't really do much. I played video games and stuff, but since I had met her, she loved going to concerts and stuff. So I've seen Eminem, I've seen Post Malone, I've seen Bad Omens, I've seen all these people that I would have never. Yellow Wolf, I've seen Yellow Wolf 4 times, and she really was like a genuine free spirit. You don't meet many people nowadays that have that energy of like, I don't give a fuck, man. As long as they're not breaking the law and they're just living their fucking best life, dog. Those are the kind of people that I want to be surrounded by, And
yeah. And I don't usually bring up, and like I said, I don't usually like to bring it up because it kind of just brings up bad memories. But just the fact that you're going through it, man. I just wanted to bring it up because I can relate.
But if we don't talk about these things, then we'll never.
I know. I keep it all bottled up. Trust me. Yeah. Yeah. I should go. I tell you what, dude. Yeah, I should go and talk to somebody, but I'm not there yet.
Like, I've taken grief counseling, but all they're like is, yeah, okay, yeah, sure, yeah. Like, that's why I don't go talk to those kind of people, because they're doing it.
Yeah,
for like
that's the problem. That's how I look at it. Is like I'm just a number, right? So they have like 20 other people they're about to see that day who they're going to say the same shit to. Where it's like, you know what I mean?
That's why I don't do that shit, because like if I want to fucking talk to somebody, I'll talk to my friends or my family,
Yeah.
And real friends nowadays are sparse and very few and far between.
Well, that's why, yeah, exactly. And that's why I love this so much, because like, it's kind of a little escape away from, all the thoughts, dude. Because like I said, it never leaves your mind, especially the fact of just being so scared that your daughter's not going to wind up the way you want her to because of the fact that her mother took her life. You know what I mean? That just plays in my head all the time. So this is, coming on here and being able to, hang out with a bunch of, cool and like-minded people, man. It's just a little escape, and that's why I love it so much.
Hey, but don't be looking up Ted Bundy, because then they're gonna think you killed some people.
No, I don't look. No. Which is weird, because like if he's a criminology TA, I don't understand why him looking up.
But that shit was never weird to me. But when you're going through VPNs and your car that looks exactly like yours is spotted around the area. Dude, I swear to God, I met this dude. I'm not even lying. I don't know if you saw my YouTube.
So you met Brian.
I think it might have been a dream, because I was so obsessed with the case, right? And I've said this. Dude, T-Rev, right? You know who T-Rev is?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, unfortunately, I stopped fucking with the dude too. But so before Brian ever got caught, I swear to God, I seen a profile on Facebook liking Madison Mogan's pictures with his name on it, and I would comment on T-Rev's shit before he was made out to be, or made himself out to be, a monetary fool. He
they should
only
call
cared
him.
about.
That's all I gave a shit about, dude. Because he would go live every night about the clickbait that wasn't even true about Brian being guilty, and he had the audacity to do a live in his dirty wife beater on some kind of drugs or whatever the one night about how Brian might be innocent. I'm like, don't you fucking dare!
I'm in a dirty wife beater, but I polish wheels for a living.
No.
So
This guy,
pretty
yeah,
dirty.
dude, he fell off harder because he started doing like the
Dude, he
you know,
looked like he's
I don't want to
fucking
talk about the
messy.
creators, but you know.
Well, fuck them, man. We can talk good about people that are good. How about that?
Yeah, no,
You know?
I
Then
completely
people
I
use
agree.
sit
Well,
there
I didn't
and
like what
use
he did.
people.
Well, I didn't like what he did because he went on News Nation after, you know, me and him spoke. And he was like, yeah, he's like, you know, I'm having conversations with, you know, Brian's friend from high school. And I went back on one of his, I'm like, dude, why'd you say that? I told you I wasn't his fucking friend. Don't paint me in that kind of limelight. I don't want that, you know, because it's not the truth. So he went on there, and that was one of the two things he talked about. The other one was the person that called into his channel that turned out to be not Brian. Imagine that. But News Nation will report anything, dude. Anything.
That's because the
Hey, Sandra.
news outlets nowadays are so thirsty for views because nobody trusts the news anymore. You can't even, like, I go on
Absolutely.
Facebook and I don't even want to fucking be on Facebook. Half of it's porn and half of it's AI generated content, and I'm like,
Oh
I
my
might as well
God.
just talk to my neighbor. What happened on the block? You know, I don't need
Detective
CNN,
John.
Fox, or
Fuck
none of
you,
them.
Johnny. Yeah. No, I was not his friend, but I'll tell you what. We have a lot of mutual friends. His best friend is a really good mutual friend of mine, and his best friend that passed away was a very, very close mutual friend of mine.
His friend that passed away from the drug overdose.
Jeremy, dude, listen, you don't understand how drunk I've gotten Jeremy Saba in his lifetime back in high school and shit. And like, Jeremy was a tank, but it was never heroin.
Jeremy.
It was yeah, well, that's his first name, Jeremy Saba. So it was never heroin. It was never it was never none of that shit, dude. All we ever did was drank and smoke. That's it. And then you know, I graduate and shit, and all of a sudden, it's the area gets flooded with meth and heroin, and people are dying that I graduated with, and going to jail, and my daughter's mother got addicted to it. It's just like, what the fuck happened to everybody, you know?
Dude, the world's been painted, and I don't know whoever in the chat or if you're religious or anything. I've always believed in God, but like, I don't know, a lot more shit's making sense nowadays. You know, they say the
Yeah, I
world will
agree.
be in
Like
chaos.
him looking up, him looking up at Ted Bundy shit, dude, means absolutely nothing to me.
No, of course not. No, because I've looked up, fucking lock me up. I've looked up Ed Gein, John Wayne Gacy, especially Jeffrey Dahmer after the Monster documentary show, docuseries with Evan Peters came out. That shit was great, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. But they could have focused more on the victims as opposed to Jeffrey Dahmer, because we already know how fucked up Jeffrey Dahmer was. Actually, some of people on my mom's side lived in Plainfield, Wisconsin, like a mile away from Ed Gein. At the time too. And you know, I've always been kind of obsessed with true crime, and this case really just.
Hey, Suzanne. But what's your take on Ann, bro? I need your opinion on Ann. Yeah, well, that's what this live is about. What's your opinion on Ann? Did she, you know, kneel to the corruption, or do you think she has some kind of ace up her sleeve somewhere, somehow?
Man, that's a deep one, though, because you know Ted Bundy's lawyer even was defending him, but thought he did it. You know, so and I don't know. Brian Koberger, it seems like a smart ass dude. Like somebody wouldn't. I mean, I can get losing a knife sheath in a situation that you're not expecting to be in, and you know. But at the same time, this dude was getting a doctorate in criminology. So there's, I would feel like a doctorate would not even bring the teeth in with you. You know, if you're allegedly wearing coveralls, you're not gonna fucking bring.
Well, why wouldn't it be? Well, I mean, wouldn't it be on your belt?
Yeah, but if you're allegedly wearing coveralls, which
why are you bringing it at all? Exactly.
So a criminology student that's getting a doctorate, PhD, for those who don't know, you're not
Yeah.
gonna fucking bring that shit in the house with you
But
at all.
before it all, he takes his car, his own car.
Yeah, that's another thing. You're not gonna bring your own car. I mean, I understand. My stepmom's been an RN for 20 years, and she was really interested in the case too. And she thought Brian was just a super narcissist that thought he could get away with it, which may be the case. You know, there are people like that. Whether you're getting a doctor, there's people that are millionaires that end up chopping up their wives, like, or shooting them in the head, like Alec Murdaugh. You know, and
Yeah, me
people
too,
fuck
Meg.
up all the time. People fuck up all the time, whether it's good or bad.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though, right, dude? Like, I knew this dude. I watched this dude. I've seen this dude walk in the hallways. I've seen him in the weight room. Dude, Brian Koberger is not that dude. He's not that guy to walk in and like freaking Bruce Lee people with knives and punches and kicks and all this kind of shit where nobody's just going to tackle him, or two people are going to tackle him down to the ground, and he's in a bit of trouble. I'm sorry, dude. By himself, it's not happening.
For the longest time, I thought I've talked to David Barachoa, and David Loach never got back to me because what steroided narcissist would, Huh?
Yeah.
Who?
So what do you think of Ann Taylor?
I don't know who that is. Sorry. Some random person.
So what do you think of Ann Taylor?
I'm sure she means well, but at the same time, I think Brian did have a choice. He could have gone to trial. I always thought this was going to be another O.J. Simpson, whatever the hell that bitch's name that killed her kid. What's her name? What's her name?
Oh, Casey Anthony?
Yeah, Casey Anthony, yeah. I thought it was going to be another one of them cases. And
yeah, but those two did it. That's in my opinion, I think that's the difference. Sure. Is like here, it's like we don't even see any evidence in this paperwork coming out yet that Brian did this shit
with a speck of DNA on it. Like that doesn't even make sense because touch DNA on a brass button is only going to last 5 hours. 5 hours. And
what about his car, dude? How's he getting? Because we saw that. I don't know if you saw the footage yet that came out on. I think it's 1112. Where
the bright
it's basically like 3 minutes.
The camera, and you can't even see what kind of car it is. I'm a big fan of.
But what about the timeline?
I don't know if you know who Jay Amber is, but I'm shouting him out.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Anyway. So. I want to know how the person got out of the car and did it in 3 minutes. How'd that happen? Without getting a shit ton of blood.
417 to 420. Yeah,
basically, that's when the dog started barking, right? So, like, if he went upstairs first, well, hold on a second, my man. If he went upstairs first, wouldn't that be when the dog started barking?
Yeah, if he went into Kaylee's room, yeah.
All right, so let's talk this out, right? All right, so let's talk this out. He goes upstairs and he starts attacking Kaylee and Maddie. One of them stabbed 30 times. The other one, I don't think we know yet, but let's say at least 10. So let's say 40 times combined, they were stabbed. Then Brian goes down the stairs, right? Mm-hmm. And sprints over to Xana and Ethan's room and stabs Xana 50 times, and Ethan, we'll say 10. So that's another 60. Right?
And then sits down in a chair.
Yeah, but Murphy is on the second floor, third floor, still barking. Yeah. I'm assuming. You know what I mean? So he's out of there in 3 minutes, doing all that into his car, and not a speck of protein that can be found with luminol and the light can be found. I just find that very fascinating. If this person did it alone.
I've heard that there was a speck of blood on the seatbelt that he
Absolutely
didn't
not.
get? That's what I'm saying. I've heard. I'm not saying it's fact, but
Dude, that would be
I
everywhere.
doubt a PhD student is gonna leave anything. You're literally getting
Especially the sheet.
doctor level shit. Yeah, a knife sheath too. Let's get to the point where I thought I met Brian Koberger. I don't know if it was a dream because I was so obsessed with the case. I know that can happen too if you're obsessed with something. But we're at a Winco in Spokane, Washington, August 2022. And in the dream or in reality, I met a dude who looked like this kid I went to high school with, an autistic guy. He's kind of taller, but he sold me, or he's trying to sell a knife. And instead of him putting it in the bag, because I would hand it back to him, because I looked at it in the dream or reality. I'm not a liar. I don't just pull shit out of my ass. I grew up a liar and always vowed since I did a bunch of LSD that I would never lie.
Yeah, but you're starting to sound like Dylan a little bit, though, dude. You don't know if it was a dream or reality? Come on, you know if it was a dream or reality. Did you have a dream about it, dude? It's fine. I mean, were you in Idaho at the time?
I don't remember. I don't remember. But
were you in Idaho?
We were in Spokane, Washington. So, but he's been there before too. So I'm not. But I don't want credit or anything or what. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I like being by myself and no notoriety at all. So I really got nothing to gain, nothing to lose.
No, I'm just saying if I had to put my money on it, my money would definitely be on the dream.
A dream. It was a dream, yeah. That's why I don't really talk about it because you know it's.
But getting back to it, dude. Like I know you said that she means well, but like, how do you think? Like, what do you think about? I guess basically her being okay and on board with Brian taking a plea with this much reasonable doubt that we know so far.
And when she said Brian is innocent, that one court date.
Yep, that's what she said to Judge.
Yep. That's another fucking weird thing about this case. How you gonna have somebody named Judge? That's weird. But
I wish we would have stuck with Judge because I think maybe he would have been a little more fair than Hitler, because Hitler didn't allow nothing. He was shooting down everything, and he was angry right off the bat.
Cases, but so is Judge. They're both retirement age, and it's like they don't give a fuck right now. Judge Hitler want to be like, like, motherfucker, you've been through plenty of murder cases. You're literally in Boise, dude.
Where's Brian's Burla for the Elantra? Did they even bother to get it? Good question, Annie.
What'd she say?
Good question. She said, where's Brian's Burla for the Elantra? Did they even bother to get it? And then she said,
what?
Hold on. And then somebody said, dude, listen, I'm not repeating it a third time. I'll die. He parks at 4:08:27 a.m., speeding away at 4:20:47. Huh?
Wait, what?
He parked at 4:08.
Oh yeah, 4:17. 4:07. Yep.
But I don't care. 4:17 is when we start hearing the commotion. Bless you.
Thank you.
No problem.
4:07. Yeah, I mean, I remember the original timeline. Like I said, I've been obsessed with this case. No, I don't read every document. You don't need to read every document. That's doing too much.
No, but I mean, you should at least
looking up Ted Bundy is irrelevant. I've looked up Ted Bundy, and I guarantee everybody in the chat has looked up Ted Bundy. So that part is irrelevant.
Well, the reason I think it's important. Yeah, well, the reason I think it's important to know, like, the basis of the documents and the information is because, like, if, you're going to have a debate or an argument with somebody, they can very easily, out-debate you because they have the knowledge from the paperwork. It's not even about trying. It's having the facts and then yeah.
I don't know if it's having the facts.
Twiz said he looked up Bundy twice.
Because every document is not valid. Every document is not valid. So having the facts is pretty much God writing the fucking
Suzanne.
paper. Any law
Suzanne said, "Are you making
what?
Yeah. Are you making scrambled eggs, or what are you making there?"
No, I'm gonna make some pasta.
Suzanne said,
I'm mixing mustard with the mayonnaise and seasonings and stuff.
"Mustard and mayonnaise with pasta."
Yeah, You
just made an Italian jump off of a skyscraper.
I'm gonna shock the noodles. I'm gonna shock the noodles, make them cold, and I'm gonna have cold pasta. I got my dressing right there. So yeah,
Are you making some?
Taylor,
Oh, I got you. Okay.
kind of like cold pasta, like the
Yes, and Taylor.
the potato salads they sell at fucking Walmart and shit.
But yes, and Taylor. What do you think? I know
like Ann Taylor as a defense attorney, but then again, at the same
Would
time,
you? Why?
I don't want her, because how are you gonna say I'm fucking innocent and then 6 months later say, "Oh, you want to plead guilty? Okay, we'll go with that." Like, you're getting paid how much a fucking hour to defend my case? It was a money grab. I think the whole fucking case. I've always thought this shit was a psyop, to be honest. But
you're killing me. What made you think that?
It could be. You never know.
I don't know what listen, I don't know what it is. All I know is there was a mound of reasonable doubt.
If I could take the blame for something that would give them notoriety, and then I can just, some people think that he's not actually in prison right now, and whatever the fuck, forgot what it's called. I was just watching some shit on some.
I would have tried to get in contact. I would have tried to get in contact with people from the outside and tried to, get as much money as I can for a private attorney, at least one private attorney, and then maybe that would have caused a chain reaction to get a couple other private attorneys to do a pro bono. That's what I would have done. But, I'm not him. I don't know. Yeah. Say again?
The Delphi case, like Richard Allen, they were doing that shit pro bono. I don't.
Well, yeah. But, I mean, that case was messed up, dude.
Big time.
Really messed up.
I don't know. I'm on the fence with Ann Taylor, dude. She says one thing and then says another, and she takes 10 years to says like, I don't got enough time to go through all the evidence. It's like, you had 2.5 fucking years to do that shit. And
yeah.
Well, that's they got 53 terabytes or whatever, and that's a lot of memory. So.
Well, that's why I ask in these last in these last requests for discovery and stuff that she got. Was there something in there that made him go, shit? We gotta figure something out, and because what's the other reasoning to plead guilty?
So you don't get the death penalty, but even then, even if you got the death penalty,
they still have to vote on it. But it's not guaranteed. Exactly. But it's not.
It's not like you get shot right away.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? Okay, but here's the thing. They still have to vote to put you to death, dude.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same shit, except death is included.
Yeah. Hold on 1 second. Paul Taylor, thank you so much for the $5 super sticker. He said, or for super chat. You going live this time Friday, dude? From the UK and study this case from day. You going live this time Friday, dude? So is it 5:30? Is it like 10:30 where you're at, Paul? Is Is it like 10:30 right now? Friday. I'm not sure if I'll be live. Maybe might have to be a little later, but I'll check though. I can let you know. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you so much. Let's see, that would be is it? I think it's like 10:30 where he's at. 10:37 here in the UK. Damn, I'm good. Baby, hit me one more time. He gave up 5 automatic appeals that come with the death penalty. Wasn't scared of execution. No, it took 40 years plus. That's what I'm saying. He would have sat on death row for a very, very long time.
20 years? Yeah, exactly. You don't just get. I mean, as much as I wish weirdos would get the death penalty right away, so our tax dollars don't go to waste, even though they already do. But
yeah,
I agree. You give them the fucking death penalty right away and call it a day.
Mm-hmm.
You can't hurt anybody else if you're dead. So.
Well, I like this new law that I think Illinois just passed. I believe it's Illinois, but sex offenders and stuff, like child predators and stuff, when they get out of jail, they are now to be medically castrated.
I fucking I'm cool with that.
Love it.
That's fine.
Of course, dude, I'm overly cool with it.
I got a 12 gauge that can do the same thing. You know,
that's what I mean. Listen, if there was a job where you can get paid to go into a room of child predators and it is what it is, dude. I'd be the first fucking one in line.
Exactly, bro. And
I'd sleep like a baby.
I'm cool with the Minneapolis cops, dude. And I guarantee you, I've talked to my stepmom's friend who is a cop there, and I was like, all these serial killers, you don't want to get caught and you don't want to do it. Why don't you go kill pedophiles? Why don't you go kill fentanyl dealers? Or
still public defender, huh? Because fentanyl makes them too much money, dude. You gotta understand, like the government loves drugs.
Oh yeah.
Like where the hell you think crack came from? Think it just appeared out of nowhere? Fuck no. Tara, I found it interesting that he said that this was done by a lefty. So, I don't think Brian's a lefty. So that it tells me that, again, my theory of he wasn't alone and there's multiple people just keeps getting stronger and stronger. I just want to know, okay, right? If Brian was involved, fine. Whatever. But if other people were involved, why aren't they doing everything? I mean, what else are they doing over there in that small fucking town? Why aren't they doing? Yeah, I don't care. I don't give a shit. The FBI shouldn't care about that. They should be doing everything in their power to get the full justice that these 4 victims deserve and their families.
Big time.
Period, man. There should be no excuse why that should not be happening.
Because people are corrupt.
And that's why I go live and shit. People don't understand why I go live. Because fucking this true justice was not carried out here. Even with Brian pleading. Even if Brian, was part of this somehow, some way that, even though we haven't seen anything yet, true justice was not carried out for the victims' families. And I have a daughter, dude. So if this was my daughter, I would not be okay with these answers. I would not be okay with the state allowing a plea deal to happen. If you're telling me you have this much on him and yada, 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 I'm sorry, but
look, I was going to bring that up. Not to really bring it up, but I'm going to bring it up. If you and your girl's family did not question anything, I want to say 98%. They would have tried to cover that shit up. Guaranteed. If y'all didn't question that shit at all, they would have tried to make it.
It seems like they tried to cover up as much as look at the whole Murphy situation. Like I said, they took him out. They stole Murphy and took his paperwork. Why? I mean, if they'll do that, who knows what lengths they went to kind of make this investigation go the way they wanted it to. It's my opinion.
And there was a female involved in the crime. They were patrolling the area with Ford Fusion hybrids or whatever the same night. Moscow Police Department. I've always thought that shit was fishy. Always. I always thought Rosie was fucking fishy as fuck. Like Rosendahl.
Yeah.
I always thought even David Barachoa was weird. I sent
That's the exact. Oh, I'm sorry so much. I meant to put that on the stage. Shit. Samira Dalvi. I didn't mean to do that. Hold on a second, bro. Just give me 1 second.
I'm waiting.
How do I fucking give me a second, dude. How do I undo what the fuck I just did? Okay. I'm about to mute you, but how do I undo what I just did? 1 second. I did not mean to ban Samira. She made a really good point. Okay, thank you so much. Sorry so much, Samira. That was a complete mistake. I wanted to bring that up on the screen, but here on the phone, it's like I don't know why it's so close. The button to ban somebody and to bring something up on screen are about an inch apart, or like not even about a half an inch apart. So I apologize. There you are. Could you write again what you said? Sorry, Andy. I could hear your background noise, and I was trying to.
Wait, what?
I said I could hear your background noise. That's why I just muted you for a second.
I got bad fucking short-term memory loss, so I don't even remember what I was talking about, honestly. And I'm a man.
It's all good.
We walk into a room and we forget what the fuck we walked into that room for. You know what I mean?
Sometimes I'm leaning towards psyop. Well, I mean, Doc, this is the thing. Like, everybody, but everybody kept telling us, right? Like all the evidence of Brian doing this, all the sick shit, all the whatever this and that is all going to be in the paperwork and the documents. And I haven't read really anything about Brian. I'm reading more about everybody else.
Diddly squat. Yeah, even they want to release crime scene photos and then blur. Like even in a blur, you would be able to see red pixels. You know.
Well, let me ask you this, dude. Regardless of the situation, if cops walked into a house and that you were in with a knife in your hand and they saw 4 dead bodies on the ground stabbed to death, do you think you would at least be detained?
Well,
shouldn't take you too long, bud. The answer is yes.
They didn't know who the fuck did it.
Well, that's the whole damn point. Since when don't you detain everybody at the scene and split them apart, but instead nobody's considered a suspect and you let them all go hang out at a hotel that night and, change your stories up? Never heard of that before. Never seen that in a crime documentary ever. So, sorry, I asked you that because I thought it was an easy answer.
I think about everything. I've done a lot of acid, so everything I'm asked.
Me too, but acid don't fry like that.
I think too deeply about everything.
I've
seen photos of them in a circle up the hill from the King Road residence. I've heard about the hotel thing.
Yeah.
I don't know their whole lives. Like I was obsessed with the whole Brian Kohlberger killing 4 people part. I've always thought the roommates were kind of sus. Like, being an alcoholic, I understand being drunk as fuck. There's no way anybody on this earth, unless you're drinking 2 bottles of Captain Morgan, are gonna think screaming and agonizing pain sounds are imaginary. Even on acid. Like acid is one of the strongest fucking drugs you can take. And you're literally not in reality, but you are physically.
I think you live in Washington.
I've walked into Cub Foods thinking everybody's a cardboard cutout on acid. And even then, I knew my life was real. So Dylan Mortensen, I don't know, man. She kind of sus. It's sus to us. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean that's kind of hypocritical, dude. Because you just told me you don't know if the whole situation of you meeting Brian was real or your fucking dream.
And I was sober. when I said
Sorry, dude. Listen, I'm a very honest person. I mean, I don't know how long you've known me or like, been to this channel, but like, I always fuck around and I just call a spade a spade. But yeah, I mean, you
I
were telling
found
me
you
you don't
by
know if it was a dream or
happenstance.
not. So
I found you by happenstance because lately I've been focused on the economy. Since I saw the victim impact statements, I haven't really paid
don't
attention.
don't blow me, Bo.
It's that's why
Yeah,
I
I
said
mean,
that's why I don't bring that part up because I don't know if it was a dream or
well, the
reality.
thing I
So
don't
I
like,
don't.
the thing I don't like, dude, is if you read the interviews from like Dylan, they took Dylan's interview and they kind of like spun it in their own narrative that fit what they wanted the PCA to kind of lean
And
towards, and
drew
that's
what
what
they wanted
pisses me
them
off.
to draw.
Well, yeah, instead of just putting in everything Dylan said, because in that case we would have heard that she supposedly saw a gun, then people would have freaked out. But I'm approaching my hour and a half here, Mark. So I'm probably gonna take this down in a little bit. But I appreciate you coming up, dude, and giving your opinion on everything and Ann, and I'm sorry you went through, or I mean are going through what you're going through.
We're both
But
going
like I
through
said,
it.
dude,
We're both
time.
going through it.
Yeah, man. Time is going to be your best friend. In this case, because really, I learned that's the only thing that really heals.
But
Losing somebody like that.
no, I'm on the fence. I still think he didn't do it. I still think he did do it. I'm on the fence.
Mhm.
I don't know. And
They're just
Taylor,
waiting.
stop being about the money and be a lawyer. But love, everybody love.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, that's right. And we got a cooking lesson. 2 for 1. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you coming up, man.
Yeah, buddy.
All right, have a good night. That was fun. Oh man, 100 stab wounds total. Well, okay, so we have 50 right on Zant and 30 on Kaylee. So, I mean, are we certain there's only 20 other stab wounds combined? Dylan is an evil bitch by Jesse Stargazing. Witchy, thank you so much to our super chat. Compare 1122 picks to Napa Halloween murder picks. Let me screenshot this so I can do that. I get off here. Thank you so much, Witch. All right. Yeah, probably getting it off here in a little bit because Annie's going to be going live talking about the whole Murph situation. She's going to be reading some documents. So if you haven't yet, you got to go check out Annie Potts, or Miss Potts is the channel name. I think she'll be live at 6. And then, yep, like I said, behind the closed doors here, I'm working on, getting up as many people as I can to kind of talk about Brian's character, because especially maybe 1 or 2 females that knew him, because I want to put the rest, the whole incel, the whole he was weird, the whole he had tendencies of murder, yada, yada, yada. Because that's what I think channel should be about, is about, truth and being able to add value to it. So I appreciate all you guys coming in. Appreciate all you guys coming in, every day and hanging out with me and talking. It really means a lot. I don't know if you guys are getting sick of me or not. I might take a day or 2 off. I don't know, or, a few days off. You know, let me just see here. If I didn't miss anything crazy, no problem, Michelle. Like I said, I love hanging out with you guys and just shooting the shit and, talking about topics, because, I learn something new every time from chat or from us just going over topics, something just clicks in my head. And there's the link down below. Lucy just posted the link for Miss Potts. She'll be live at 6, going over again the whole Murphy situation. Because again, that's still the weirdest thing ever. Roll motherfucking Tide, roll. That's right, baby. I need to get down to Alabama for another game. It's just, it broke my heart when Nick Saban left, man. I need Nick to get back in there and unretire. No, thank you, Dina, for coming in and supporting me and all you guys. And Moto Man, thank you so much for the super chat. Witchy, thank you so much for the super chats. Paul, thank you so much for the super chat. You guys are amazing. All you guys in chat are amazing. So I'll see you guys on the YouTube streets somewhere. But again, I'm probably going to go check out Miss Potts is live. So if you guys want to head over there. Yeah. I hope you guys have a good rest of your night. And yeah, like I said, I might be live tomorrow. I might give it a few days because I know I get sick of people if I'm hearing them and listening to them every single day. So I don't want to overdo it. I'm just trying to make some more content for my channel because, again, I think this stuff's really important. It's important to keep talking about it, not let it die. So, yep. All right, guys. Appreciate you. Have a good night. See you guys soon. Later.